I often find myself wishing that I could speed up time or slow it down in order to savor the beautiful moments of life and then bypass the rest. However, when we cannot speed up time, music can help us to get through those hard and difficult moments. In fact, some of the greatest works of art have been created in dark times, and then later would help other people through theirs. The song Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day is one of those pieces of art. Green Day's lead singer, Billy Joe Armstrong, wrote this song a few years after losing his father to cancer. He then kept the song to himself for even more years, as it felt too personal to share. His bandmates eventually encouraged him to publish the song. The song was healing and helpful for him on his journey. When Armstrong's father died, the then 10-year-old Billy Joe ran home from the service. He locked himself in his room, and when his mother came to check on him, he told her, "Wake me up when September ends." This served as the inspiration for the title of the song. I first heard this song as a teenager, and the power was not lost on me. I didn't know the full background, but it felt important and meaningful. And then the song became particularly significant to me when my family suffered a tragedy in September of 2020. It was the worst month of my life, and this song worked its way into my music cycle, as the lyrics were very applicable to my experience. And I didn't realize quite how connected they were until I started researching the song. It has inspired a lot of reflection and pondering on my experiences, and I'm very grateful for Armstrong's vulnerability and willingness to share. To me, this is why art and music are so important. It creates connections between people. In his Nobel Prize acceptance speech, Kazuo Ishiguro said, "But in the end, stories are about one person saying to another, 'This is the way it feels to me.' Can you understand what I'm saying? Does it feel this way to you?" I believe this applies to music. Another powerful quote that I think applies in this situation is when F. Scott Fitzgerald said, "That is part of the beauty of all literature. You discover that your longings are universal longings, that you are not lonely or isolated from anyone. You belong." I am far from the only person to connect with this song. It has been used by many groups to cope with world events. And the music video for the song does not follow the song's inspiration, but rather it observes the difficulty of war and how it affects relationships. Because of that, it has been used to encourage goals of peace. And this was greatly taken to heart by the viewers when it came out, as the United States was at war with Iraq, and that was deeply affecting many American citizens' lives. The music video was widely popular, yet definitely had its critics in regard to the politics. When Hurricane Katrina hit the Gulf Coast just before September 2005, those affected by this huge struggle through the month of September found solace in the piece, and it was played when honoring the people involved. On a less tender note, the infinite audience of the internet turned the title of the song into a joke by sarcastically taking the title literally and sending messages and making posts about waking up Billy Joe Armstrong on October 1st. However, Armstrong and many fans do not appreciate this, as it is disrespectful to the deeply personal feelings and grief expressed in the song. Understanding the background of a meme hopefully will make it funnier. For this one, however, it largely discourages the audience from continuing to use it. When listening to this piece, one should pay very special attention to the instrumentation, lyrics, and production choices, because seemingly small changes and decisions help bring the listener into the moment with the artist. Life is made important and special because of those difficult moments, and sleeping through them would take away the preciousness of everything good. But no one wants to hear that when they are suffering grief. And sometimes it is best to sit with them and acknowledge the wish to sleep until the hard parts are past. When we listen to the very beginning of the song, it starts very gently. gentle but very, very strong. And I think that this helps illustrate how small someone can feel in the face of things that are difficult. And when we are grieving, we feel that way, and that's how it starts, is just feeling devastated. But then later, a canon is introduced. I think that this canon helps tie everything together over long phrases, and the human brain loves a canon. They feel comforting and real, I think. So I love that illustration. And then later in the song, it starts to pick up and introduce percussion and electric guitar, but it keeps the canon. This, I think, continues to just help everything feel like one piece, but the increased craziness of the instruments helps illustrate the violence of some of the feelings sometimes. And then the song continues to later have a beautiful instrumental break, and then ends little and quiet, just as it began. With just those couple of notes. And I think that fade, those couple of little simple things, help illustrate things going into the past and the time being farther and farther away. I really love this song, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I had to research it.